Y'all, they in trouble. Ooh, they in trouble. I see why Trump about to let out the truth now, cause he not trying to get the karma that they done stirred up. Welcome to the cookout. So we already know and have all the proof that when they arrived in these lands, they saw our people, right? But this gets deep, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with me. We know our people built these, right? This is our culture, Cahokia Mounds, right? Stay with me. Come on, we about to cook. Hold on. Welcome to the cookout. We about to get to cooking. So we know that means the Americans have more pyramids than the rest of the world and we built them. We get that, right? We're starting to learn of our prominence in these lands. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get to the main course. So while doing my reading, I came upon this. Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley, 1848, Squire and Davis. One earthwork structure in particular caught our eye. It has been referred to as the Hebrew earthworks of Milford, Ohio. This giant earthwork was shaped into what looks like an old Hebrew lamp, along with other recognizable Hebrew symbols. Hebrew symbols, you say? So knowing that we are the indigenous Americans and now knowing that we are also the Hebrews, this makes it rather interesting because if you read your holy scripts, God is described as avenging Israel on numerous occasions, particularly throughout the book of Exodus, Judges, and Kings, when stories detail God's intervention to deliver Yasharao from their enemies. So if we are Yasharao, and they've spent all this time doing us dirty, there's only one thing left. And you know what? I think I'm going to kick back, grab me some popcorn, and watch what happens to these lands and the people that did us wrong. And have no fear. Just know for us, the melanateds, the indigenous Americans, the Murs, the Indians, the Hebrews, whatever you want to call us, oh, this is going to be a beautiful time, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh.
Which means welcome, cherished friends in the Algonquian language, the original language of Fairfax County. I'm here today to honor our ancestors and those of us who have survived to continue our culture on this land my ancestors called Atan Akamik, our fertile country, giving thanks to the Creator for making everything in nature to help support our life. May the words of our mouths and the sincerity of our hearts be acceptable to you, O Lord, our Creator. Amen. Aho. Quite often, people speak of Native Americans of Fairfax County in the past tense, as in long ago, or historic presentations will reinforce the misconception that we are not still here. But I must remind people that although the English stole our fruits, cut off our branches, and cut the trees down, our roots are still here. And my people are a vibrant part of the fabric of this country, of Fairfax County, Virginia. The Powhatan Paramancy, which stretched all the way from North Carolina up to Washington, D.C., was the dominant Native American organization that the English encountered when they came here and established Jamestown in 1607. The Spanish came earlier in the 1500s when they captured one of my ancestors. Some people say that Opechancanough, the younger brother of Powhatan, could have been part of the group of young people that were captured by the Spanish, taken to what they call New Spain, Christianized, and then brought back here. However, due to their wanting to visit their relatives, these indigenous young men came back with war parties. And the Spanish left Virginia, which is why we're speaking English today. A lot of people have the misconception that members of the Powhatan Paramancy were a peaceful, calm, lovable agricultural people. I come from a warrior society, and we were the first to defend our homeland. Homeland security for us basically started in the Caribbean in 1492. Also, even today, you'll find that Native Americans join our military organizations at a higher rate than any other ethnic group in this country because we love our homeland and we still defend our homeland. Although some people want to make us strangers in our homeland, as opposed to others who have come here in a strange land, we are still here. There are all sorts of evidence throughout Fairfax County and what we call the DMV area, the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, that are a testimony to our presence. Some of the petroglyphs at Great Falls are older as 5,000 BC. We consider the fabric of Fairfax County and this country a coexistence of all different cultures, starting from 1607 and 1500s with the Europeans, and from 1619 we had a convergence of Africans that were documented as coming here to this country. We also had a very large percentage of indentured Europeans who came to Fairfax County. We all too often hear about those people who were enslaved under a heinous system of chattel bondage, but we seldom, if ever, hear about those people who came here as indentured people from Europe. And I'm mentioning that because there's a lot of emphasis placed on enslaved people, and we forget that probably most of the Europeans that came here were indentured. They weren't all the lords and ladies that arrived from England looking for better hunting or what they call the virgin land. My people call the widowed land. They wanted new experiences when they came to the Americas. When I think about the different people who were indigenous to Virginia who were here, quite frequently I hear the term Dogue, which is spelled D-O-G-U-E or D-O-E-G. I like to think about Toxnet because Toxnet was our main village. And I would like to emphasize the best, the apex of our villagers, rather than the assortment that were seen by John Smith in his travels. He didn't go far inland, so we don't have people telling us today about the many other Indian villages that were inland, away from the water's edge areas. And it's important to remember that what we have today as highways were preceded by our waterways, which were our ancient highway system. Wingapo